In this video, I'll be reacting to the lyrics of Sinead O'Connor's haunting song, Famine. Some songs will be quite uncomfortable for people to hear, and they protest that artists shouldn't use their platform for political reasons. Some artists prefer to be brave and to tell the truth by using their voice. And Sinead O'Connor certainly has been brave since she came out on the music scene. She was so ridiculed by speaking out about the Catholic Church and priests specifically that I don't think she ever achieved the status that she deserved as a singer. Hi, my name's Michelle, and welcome back to my channel, where I'm continuing my video series on meaningful song lyrics. International Women's Day was this past Saturday on March 8th, and I thought that it would be cool to do a week-long series on women in rock and roll. This is the fourth video of the series. Sinead O'Connor was very popular with her song Nothing Compares to You, written by Prince. But she had songs that she had written and sang that were so much more powerful and full of emotion, and it demonstrated what an awesome singer she was. Her voice could hit those high notes for sure. This track that I'm sharing with you now is really not a song per se. She does sing the chorus. This is her truth about Ireland's past, and since she is Irish, she can tell it unapologetically. Here we go.
Okay, I want to talk about Ireland. Specifically, I want to talk about the famine, about the fact that there never really was one. There was no famine. See, Irish people were only allowed to eat potatoes. All of the other food, meat, fish, vegetables, were shipped out of the country under armed guard to England while the Irish people starved. And then in the middle...
Now, do you know your history about Ireland and England? In fact, I think up until the 80s, they still hated each other. And that was because England suppressed Ireland so much. And now she's saying that there never really was a famine. It was actually man-made. It was something that England actually did to them.
Not to teach our children Irish. And so we lost our history. And this is what I think is still hurting we. You see, we're like a child that's been battered, has to drive itself out of its head because it's frightened, still feels all the painful feelings. But they lose contact with the memory. And this leads to massive self-destruction, alcoholism, drug addiction, all desperate attempts at running. And in its worst form becomes actual killing. And if there ever is going to be healing, there has to be remembering and then grieving so that there then can be forgiving. There has to be knowledge and understanding.
She's a very insightful young woman. And yeah, so I imagine that when she was little, she actually went through the war that was going on in Ireland. I don't know, everything there is to know about it, but I do know that there was like Irish terrorists. That's all I know. And Irish was like a war zone. I should read up on that.
Army regulation says you mustn't kill more than 10% of a nation because to do so causes permanent psychological damage. It's not permanent, but they didn't know that. Anyway, during the supposed famine, we lost a lot more than 10% of our nation through deaths on land or in ships of emigration. But what finally broke us is not starvation, no, it's using the controlling of our education. Schools go on about Black 47, on and on about the terrible famine. But what they don't say is, in truth, there really never was one. All the lonely people, oh, what do now come from?
So there actually was starvation. That happened, yes, but apparently they had to say it was a famine. They had to lie to the people with propaganda so that they wouldn't rise. And basically, that's what's being done today.
I can tell you in one word.
All the lonely people, oh, what do now? So let's take a look, shall we? The highest statistics of child abuse in the EEC, and we say we're a Christian country, but we've lost contact with our history. See, we used to worship God as a mother. We're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. Look at all our old men in the pubs. Look at all our young people on drugs. We used to worship God as a mother. Now look at...
We used to worship God as a mother, and that is ever so true. Back before Christianity, there are what you call pagans. Christian people said that they were. They're pagans. They're just country town folks. But they actually had a relationship with the land, with the mother figure, and the relationship of caretaker. Because back in Irish history and mythology, you actually worshipped Mother Earth, and women were held in high regard. Um, there, the wells were such a sacred feminine um, representation. The myths and the stories about women in the wells. Actually, so-called king of the land or the ruler of the land had to actually marry the womanly figure of the land. When they broke the covenant, the mother figure, all hell broke loose in the land until they returned to her.
what we're doing to each other. We've even made killers of ourselves, the most childlike, trusting people in the universe. And this is what's wrong with us. Our history books, the parent figures lied to us. I see the Irish as a race like a child that got itself bashed in the face. And if there ever is going to be healing, there has to be remembering and then grieving so that there then can be forgiving. There has to be knowledge and understanding. All the lonely people, oh, where do they all come from? All the lonely people, oh, where do they all belong?
And how do we keep our balance? And how do we keep our balance? And how do we keep our balance?
Forgiveness, forgiveness.
So at the end of the song, she's talking about there has to be a remembering, there has to be a grieving. In order for you to get over something and heal from it, you have to remember things, and then you have to allow your body and your soul to grieve and go through all of that process, and that could take time, but you have to in order to heal. And then at the end he says, what is the balance? And now she's singing Forgiveness.
We keep our talent.
Well, there is Sinead O'Connor. Um, she has very good songs, and she kept her singing up um, all through the years. But I think she kept that private. Private. She still lived in Ireland, and I think she just did all her music stuff over there because you can't really find much on YouTube. It's all her younger stuff. There's a few of her older, and that song certainly did mean something. It might mean something only to Irish people, but actually, I never really knew that it wasn't a potato famine. So now I got to go look that up and read into that. Um, Sinead O'Connor, she led a very troublesome life. She did have mental health issues. She was not treated very well with her mother. I don't know about her father, but she had issues with her mother. Um, she had several relationships, but they never lasted. Although she does have four children, I think she has four children. I'm pretty sure, and she loved her children with everything she had. And it was very sad when she passed away. So if you would like to learn more about her, just go ahead and search on YouTube. So, um, all right. Tomorrow I'll be here with some music from the 2000s, the early 2000s. So make sure you turn in for that.